Think and Grow Rich, Chapter 1, Desire. Everything begins with desire. Not a passing wish, not a vague hope, but a burning, relentless desire that refuses to be ignored. Every achievement, every fortune, every great success story has the same starting point. Someone, somewhere, wanted something so badly that nothing could stop them from going after it. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. It is the seed from which all wealth and success grow. Without it, there is no motivation to act, no reason to persist, and no fuel to keep going when challenges appear. But when desire burns inside you, it will push you forward, make you act, and force you to find a way. Napoleon Hill tells the story of Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes was not rich. He had no influential friends. He had no impressive resume. What he did have was a single, crystal-clear desire: to become a business partner with the great inventor, Thomas Edison. To most people, this would have sounded impossible. Barnes didn't know Edison personally. He didn't have the money to travel in comfort. But none of that mattered. His desire was so strong that it drowned out every doubt. Barnes boarded a freight train to reach Edison's offices. When he arrived, he told Edison that he had come to go into business with him. Edison later said that there was something in Barnes's eyes that made him believe the young man meant every word. Barnes did not become a partner that day. Instead, Edison offered him a low-level job. Many people would have quit right there, saying, "This isn't what I wanted." But Barnes was different. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he was willing to wait for his moment. For years, Barnes worked quietly, learning everything he could, building trust, and watching for an opportunity. That opportunity finally came when Edison invented the dictaphone. Edison's own salesmen were not excited about it. They didn't believe it would sell. Barnes saw things differently. He believed in the machine, and he believed in himself. He offered to sell it. He didn't just sell a few units. He sold so many that Edison made him a partner in the business. Barnes had achieved exactly what he set out to do. From that day forward, he was known as the partner of Thomas Edison. Think about that. A man with no money, no connections, and no plan beyond his desire managed to create the exact life he imagined. His burning desire became reality. Here is the truth. When you truly want something, and you are willing to give everything to get it, you will find a way. The size of your resources matters far less than the size of your determination. Now ask yourself, what do you want? Not what would be nice to have, not what you're curious about, but what you absolutely must have in your lifetime. Most people never answer this question honestly. They have wishes, not desires. There is a difference between wishing for something and being ready to achieve it. Wishing will not bring riches. Being ready means you are prepared to work, to sacrifice, and to persist until it becomes yours. Napoleon Hill gives 6 definite steps to turn desire into its financial equivalent. First, decide the exact amount of money you desire. Be specific. Instead of saying, "I want to be rich," say, "I will have $500,000 by this date," or "I will build a business earning $10,000 per month." Second, determine exactly what you will give in return for the money you desire. There is no such thing as something for nothing. Will you give your time, your expertise, your service, your creativity? Third, set a definite date for when you will achieve your goal. A goal without a deadline is only a dream. Fourth, create a definite plan for achieving your desire and begin at once, whether you feel ready or not. Fifth, write a clear, concise statement of what you intend to achieve, the time limit for its achievement, what you will give in return, and the plan by which you will accomplish it. Sixth, Read your statement aloud twice each day, once in the morning and once at night. As you read, imagine and feel yourself already in possession of the goal. These steps are simple, but they are powerful. Most people will hear them and do nothing. They will tell themselves they already know this, and they will go back to their routine. But the few who act, who write the statement, read it daily, and live by it, will see their lives change. Desire is not a polite request to the universe. It is a demand you place upon yourself. It must be so strong that it dominates your thoughts, influences your actions, and shapes your decisions every single day. Barnes did not say, "I'll try to work with Edison." He said, "I will work with Edison, and I will be his partner." That kind of decision leaves no room for doubt or retreat. The moment you decide what you want, and you decide that nothing will stop you from getting it, your mind begins to work in new ways. You start seeing opportunities you never noticed before. You begin meeting people who can help you. The world seems to rearrange itself in your favor. But it all begins with desire. Without it, there is no reason to start. With it, there is nothing that can stop you. To understand desire at its true power, think of it as a living force. It is not a thought you visit once in a while. It is a constant companion. It stays with you when you wake up, it walks with you through your day, and it lies beside you when you go to sleep. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not always the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who hold on to their desire longer than anyone else. When others lose interest or get distracted, they keep moving toward the goal. Look at the history of American innovators. Henry Ford had little formal education. He was told countless times that building an affordable car for the average person was impossible. The established car makers laughed at him. But Ford had a burning desire to make transportation accessible to every working family in America. That desire drove him through years of failures, experiments, and setbacks until he succeeded. Desire is not only about wealth. It can be applied to health, relationships, personal achievements, or any worthy goal. The principle is the same. If the desire is strong enough, the method will be found. Napoleon Hill stresses the importance of being definite. Vague goals produce vague results. A person who says, "I want to be healthier," may not change much. But the one who says, "I will run a marathon next year, and I will train every morning at 6 a.m., has a clear, measurable target. The 6 steps Hill gives are not theory, they are a formula. And like any formula, they only work if you use them exactly as given. Let's explore them in more detail. Step 1. Decide the exact amount you desire. Why exact? Because your subconscious mind responds better to precise commands. Saying "I want more money" is like telling a GPS, "Take me somewhere." You must be specific. "I will have $250,000 in my investment account within 5 years" is a command the mind can work on. Step 2. Determine what you will give in return. Wealth is an exchange. You give value, you receive value. This could be in the form of work, skills, ideas, or products. If you want a certain income, you must ask yourself, what am I offering that is worth this? Step 3. Set a definite date. Deadlines create urgency. A goal set someday is a goal that will never be pursued with energy. When you set a date, you start to measure progress and take your time seriously. Step 4. Create a definite plan and begin at once. Do not wait until you feel ready. You will never feel fully ready. Start where you are with what you have and improve along the way. Action builds momentum, and momentum attracts opportunities. Step 5. Write a clear statement. This is the blueprint of your desire. It forces you to think through the details and commit them to paper. Your written statement is your contract with yourself. Step 6. Read it aloud twice daily. Repetition imprints your desire into your subconscious mind. The more you repeat it with emotion, the more your subconscious accepts it as reality. Over time, it begins to influence your actions and habits in ways you may not consciously notice. Hill insists on emotion when reading your statement. Words alone are not enough. You must feel the reality of your desire as if it already exists. This emotional connection is what turns thought into belief and belief into action. Let's bring this into the modern world. Imagine someone in the United States today who decides they want to own a successful online business. They could simply think, that would be nice, and leave it there. Or they could set a definite desire. I will build an online store generating $20,000 in monthly profit by the end of 2 years. I will achieve this by creating a line of eco-friendly products, marketing them on social media, and reinvesting my profits into growth. I will work every evening after my day job and every weekend until this is done. The second person is far more likely to succeed because the desire is clear, backed by a plan, and supported by action. Desire has another quality. It transforms adversity into fuel. People with weak desires see setbacks as reasons to quit. People with strong desires see them as temporary challenges to overcome. Thomas Edison himself failed thousands of times before perfecting the electric light. When asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That is the attitude of someone whose desire outweighs his discouragement. Barnes could have looked at his lowly job in Edison's office and said, "This is not what I came for." Instead, he saw it as a stepping stone. Every small task was part of a larger journey toward his goal. You must also protect your desire. Not everyone will understand it. Some will discourage you, not out of malice, but because they cannot see what you see. Others may laugh at your ambitions. Do not explain yourself to people who are determined not to believe in you. Your desire is your responsibility, not theirs. This is why Hill often speaks of the mastermind, surrounding yourself with people who support and strengthen your desire instead of weakening it. We will explore that in a later chapter, but the point is this: your environment matters. Here is a simple exercise to begin now. Write down one desire you truly care about. Then write the 6 steps beside it. Fill in each step honestly. Keep this paper with you. Read it every morning when you wake up and every night before bed. Do this for 30 days without fail. Watch how your thoughts begin to change, how ideas appear, and how your energy toward the goal grows. The world has always rewarded those with the courage to want something badly enough to work for it. That was true in Napoleon Hill's time, and it is still true today. Some people think desire is simply wanting something, but there is a difference between wishing and having a burning desire. Wishing is passive. It happens in the mind and ends there. Burning desire is active. It pushes you to take steps, make sacrifices, and persist even when progress is slow. In the United States, there are countless stories of ordinary people who built extraordinary lives because they turned desire into a plan. Consider Sarah Blakely, a founder of Spanx. She started with $5,000 in savings, no experience in fashion, and no background in business. What she did have was a clear desire to create a product she believed women needed. She faced rejection from manufacturers, skepticism from investors, and doubt from those around her. But her desire drove her to keep calling, keep visiting factories, and keep improving her product. Eventually, she built a company worth billions. Her story proves a truth. When the desire is strong enough, obstacles become temporary. They do not stop you, they shape you. Napoleon Hill observed that success often comes after the point where most people would quit. It is as if life is testing how badly you want it. The ones who persist a little longer, who push through the final stretch of difficulty, are often the ones who reach their goals. Barnes could have quit after months of working menial jobs at Edison's office. But quitting was never an option for him, because his desire had already decided the outcome in his mind. The how was uncertain, but the what was fixed. One key to making desire work for you is to visualize the result as if it already exists. Hill encouraged readers to see, feel, and believe they had already achieved the goal. If your desire is to buy a home, picture yourself walking through the rooms, feeling the walls, hearing the sounds of your neighborhood. If your desire is to run your own company, imagine what your office looks like, the conversations you have with your team, the impact your business makes. When you make these mental pictures vivid, your mind starts working to close the gap between your current reality and the image you hold. This is not magic. It is focus. What you focus on consistently influences your decisions, your habits, and eventually your results. Another modern example comes from the tech industry. Elon Musk has faced setbacks that would make most people walk away. His early rockets exploded. Tesla faced financial collapse. He was criticized publicly and personally. But his desire to push forward with electric cars and space travel was greater than the fear of failure. That desire attracted the right engineers, investors, and partners to help make the vision real. Notice that strong desire also requires patience. Many people want quick results, but deep, lasting success often takes years. This is why Hill emphasized a definite date. Not because the date is magical, but because it gives you a time frame to focus your energy. Patience is not waiting without action. It is steadily working while you wait. This steady effort, combined with the clarity of a burning desire, produces results that compound over time. Let's also talk about the role of belief. Desire without belief is fragile. The moment things get hard, doubt creeps in. Belief strengthens desire. Hill understood that belief could be built through repeated affirmations, through surrounding yourself with people who encourage you, and through small wins that prove progress is possible. In today's world, belief can also be strengthened by learning from others who have done what you want to do. If your desire is to start an online business, study those who have done it successfully. If your desire is to improve your health, learn from those who have transformed their bodies and lifestyles. Their stories are proof that your goal is possible, and proof feeds belief. Another important point Hill makes is that desire must be your own. Borrowed desires fade quickly. If you set a goal only because someone else thinks you should, your motivation will not survive the hard days. The goal must matter deeply to you. This is why clarity matters. Take time to ask yourself, why do I want this? What will my life look like when I have it? How will I feel? If your answers are strong and personal, your desire will have roots. Let's return to Barnes. He did not come to Edison saying, "I think I might like to work with you." He said, in his own way, "I will be your business partner." The difference in certainty is the difference in outcome. You must speak your desire with that same certainty, not just to others, but to yourself. When you say, "I will," instead of "I hope," your mind starts to search for ways to make it happen. One final truth about desire: it grows stronger the more you feed it. When you read your written statement twice daily, as Hill recommends, you are feeding your desire. When you take even small steps toward your goal, you are feeding your desire. And when you spend time with people who believe in you, you are protecting and strengthening it. So here is the challenge. Decide today on one burning desire you are willing to commit to. Write it down in clear, specific terms. Decide what you will give in return. Set a date. Make a plan. Begin now. and read it aloud morning and night with belief and emotion. This is the foundation of everything else you will learn in Think and Grow Rich. Without desire, nothing begins. With desire, almost anything is possible. Desire has a way of transforming the impossible into the inevitable. Throughout American history, the people who shaped industries and changed lives were not necessarily the smartest, the most educated, or the wealthiest when they began. They were people whose desire refused to be ignored. Take the example of Howard Schultz, the man behind Starbucks. Schultz grew up in a poor neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. His family had no connections in business, no safety net, and no resources to fund a big dream. But Schultz had a burning desire to create a coffee experience that felt different, something warm, welcoming, and personal. He faced rejection when trying to convince investors to back his idea. Most told him it would never work. Still, he persisted, traveling city to city, pitching to anyone who would listen. Today, Starbucks is a global brand with thousands of locations. Schultz's story reminds us that when desire is strong, no simply means try another way. Another story comes from the world of sports. Michael Jordan is often called the greatest basketball player of all time. But in high school, he didn't make the varsity team. For many, that would have been the end of the dream. But Jordan's desire to prove himself drove him to train harder than ever. He practiced relentlessly, often more than anyone else on the team. That burning desire to be the best didn't just get him onto the varsity team. It fueled a career that broke records, inspired millions, and built a lasting legacy. Desire doesn't always lead to fame, but it always leads to transformation. There's the example of a small-town teacher in Iowa who dreamed of creating better learning materials for her students. She worked late into the night, refining lesson plans and testing them with her class. Her passion caught the attention of other educators, and eventually, she built a small publishing company that now provides resources to schools across the country. Her story is a reminder that desire isn't limited to big cities or billion-dollar industries. It can thrive anywhere. One of Napoleon Hill's most important observations was that desire often needs a spark, a reason so personal and powerful that it becomes part of your identity. This spark can be a dream of financial freedom, the need to provide for your family, a desire to help others, or even the determination to prove something to yourself. Consider the case of Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty in rural Mississippi, Oprah faced challenges that would have broken the spirit of many. Yet she had a burning desire to share stories, to connect with people, and to inspire change. She started in local radio, moved to television, and eventually built a media empire. Her desire to uplift others became the driving force behind her career, and it still guides her work today. In the tech world, Jeff Bezos had a comfortable, high-paying job before starting Amazon. But he had a vision, an online store that could sell everything. He knew the internet was growing fast, and his desire to be part of that growth outweighed the security of his current career. Bezos faced challenges in funding, logistics, and technology. There were no guarantees. Yet his desire to see his vision come to life kept him moving forward. Today, Amazon is one of the most influential companies in the world. These stories share a common thread. The goal was clear, the desire was personal, and the action was relentless. Hill teaches that desire is not a wish, it is a decision. It's the point where you say to yourself, I will do this, and nothing will stop me. When you commit to a desire in this way, you stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. Now let's talk about how desire interacts with fear. Fear is the natural enemy of desire. It whispers that you're not ready, not capable, or not deserving. But here's the truth. Fear is loudest when you are closest to a breakthrough. If you can push through the discomfort of fear, you often find the opportunity you've been seeking. One way to overcome fear is through preparation. The more you know, the more you practice, and the more you plan, the less power fear has. Another way is to simply act before you feel ready. Action builds confidence, and confidence feeds desire. Look at the story of Walt Disney. Before creating Disneyland, Disney was told by bankers and business leaders that his idea for a family theme park would fail. They said it was too expensive, too risky, and too unrealistic. But Disney's desire to bring joy to families was greater than his fear of losing money or facing embarrassment. He persisted, found funding, and built one of the most visited destinations on Earth. Hill's method for turning desire into reality can be summed up in 6 steps. Decide exactly what you want. Determine what you will give in return. Set a definite date to achieve it. Create a clear plan and start immediately. Write it all down. Read it aloud twice daily with belief and emotion. These steps are simple, but most people never follow them completely. They either skip the writing, delay the start, or fail to read their statement regularly. The people who do follow them find that their desire grows stronger and their focus becomes sharper. As you listen to this, think about your own desire. Picture it clearly. See yourself achieving it. Feel the emotions of success. Let that picture become so real in your mind that it begins to feel inevitable. Remember, every great achievement in history began with someone who refused to let go of their desire. You have that same power. It begins the moment you decide to use it. Desire becomes unstoppable when it's paired with persistence. There is a story about Colonel Harlan Sanders that illustrates this perfectly. At the age of 65, after his restaurant failed due to a new highway bypass, he found himself living on a $105 a month Social Security check. Most would have accepted defeat, but Sanders had a recipe for fried chicken and a burning desire to see it succeed. He traveled across the country, knocking on doors, offering to partner with restaurants and cook his chicken in exchange for a small commission. He heard no more than 1,000 times before someone finally said yes. That single yes became the foundation for Kentucky Fried Chicken, now one of the most recognized brands in the world. Desire is not limited by age, background, or resources. In fact, it often burns brightest in the face of limitations. Hill himself emphasizes that the size of your desire is often more important than the size of your current ability. Skills can be learned, networks can be built, money can be earned, but desire must come from within. Think about Elon Musk in the early 2000s. After selling PayPal, Musk could have retired comfortably. Instead, he poured his own money into SpaceX and Tesla, facing public skepticism and near bankruptcy. His desire to see humanity expand beyond Earth and to transform the automotive industry kept him going when logic said to stop. Whether you agree with his methods or not, the fact remains, without intense desire, none of those ventures would exist. Desire also thrives on clarity. Imagine trying to hit a target you can't see. The more specific your goal, the stronger your desire becomes. A vague wish like, "I want to be successful," rarely fuels consistent action. But a clear goal like, "I will earn $100,000 a year through my own business within 3 years," gives your mind something to focus on, plan for, and pursue relentlessly. One practical drill to strengthen desire is to create a written desire statement. Write exactly what you want, why you want it, what you will give in return, and the date you will achieve it. Read it out loud every morning and night. This daily repetition conditions your mind to believe in your goal and reminds you to take action. Another drill is visualization. Spend 5 minutes a day imagining yourself already living your goal. See the details, feel the emotions. The human mind struggles to distinguish between vivid imagination and reality, and this is a powerful advantage. Now, let's tie this back to your own journey. Your current situation is the starting point, not the limit. Your past failures, your current challenges, your lack of resources, none of these matter as much as the fire inside you. That fire is desire. If you protect it, feed it, and refuse to let it go out, it will carry you through obstacles you never imagined you could overcome. History has shown us that the most powerful people in the world are not necessarily the strongest, the fastest, or the most intelligent. They are the ones who want it the most and are willing to pay the price to get it. You have the ability to decide today that you will not let go of your dream. You can choose to move from wishing to wanting, and from wanting to acting. Desire is the first step toward greatness. Without it, nothing begins. With it, everything becomes possible. If this chapter has ignited something inside you, act on it now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. It will never come. Write down your definite goal, the date you will achieve it, and the steps you will take starting today. Read it every morning and every night. And when you're ready to strengthen that desire with unshakable belief, join me in Chapter 2, Faith. In that chapter, you'll learn how to turn your desire into a conviction so strong that it moves you forward, even when doubt and fear try to hold you back. The journey to wealth, success, and a life on your own terms is built one chapter at a time. Let's take the next step together.